Good afternoon, student. In today's class session, we are going to be discuss about exception handling in Java. What is exception? Exception is nothing but it is an exceptional event that arises during the execution of the program, right? So when you are going to be doing a Java program, the exception is normally arises during the execution of the program, not in the compile time of the program. When an exception occurs, the normal flow of the program, that is your Java program, is disrupted and the program and the application is terminated abnormally, right? Suppose if you have find out doing a Java program, right? The program is abnormally terminated and which is not recommended for the Java program. Therefore, the exception must be handled. So, what are the situations the exception may arise, right? So, exception can arise for many different reasons. A user has entered an invalid data. Suppose he is entering invalid data, something like string to number conversions like that. That will be provided in errors. Second one, we want to be access a file. The file is not present in the disk, right? Input file or output file. We are going to read or write some operations performing that. The file cannot be found there. That will be need for the rest. In a network connection, when we are using a socket application program, okay, in the case of TCP or UDP like that. So a network connection has been lost in the middle of the communications. Okay, or maybe a JVM Java virtual machine may be out of the memory, and some of the exceptions are caused by the user error, either by the program errors, right? And what are the exception categories? There are the two types of exception categories are there. One is the checked exception and the second one is unchecked exception. Checked exception is nothing but that is checked by the compiler at the compilation time. The programmer should take care of it. We are the programmer to take care of this exception, like you are going to be read such files using a file reader to read a data from the file. The specific file is not present in the disk. In this case, the file not found exception arise. So that will be the user want to be taken care. The compiler prompts the programmer, okay, and to handle the exception. Suppose the file is not present in the disk, what is the responsibility? The responsibility of the user, right, to specify the name of the file, and the compiler must check the file name at the compilation time, right? If the file is not present, then it will be it will be arise the exception is file not found exception. The second one exception is unchecked exception. It is an exception that occurs at the time of the exception. For example, I am going to be access an array element, right? I am declaring the array size as AF5. So that will be 0 to 4, the elements will be stored there. If I want to access the ninth element in the array, the index position is not available. Without accessing the index, right, what will happen that will be raise the errors of array index or bounds of exception will be throwing it, right? And some of the exceptions are common exception, you know that arithmetic exception, array index or bound of exception, number format, null pointer exception, and file not found exception, IO exceptions. Arithmetic exceptions are arises during the arithmetic operation of the programs, array index out of bounds exceptions, access an array that is not out of the range, number format exception, okay, when converting a string to the numbers, null pointer exception caused by referencing a null object, file not found exception when we are going to be access an array that file is not present in the disk while reading or writing the files. IO exception caused by general IO failures such as inability to read a file or writing the data, right? And in Java, the exceptions are handled by the 5 keywords: tray, catch, throw, throws, finale. So tray is something, but it is a block where we are going to be write a set of statements, right? It is like a monitor that will be monitor the programming code, right? So tray block is something, but here we are going to be write the set of the statement. It is like a monitor that will be monitor the code. If any exceptions arises in the tray block okay, either throw the exception or it will be catched by the catch exceptions, right? The tray block, after the tray block, then it is followed by the catch block and the throw block, right? So next will be the tray block syntaxes, tray code, there may be throw and exception. I already told now, tray block, monitor the code, if an exception arises, there may be a throw or it may be catch. Catch block is used to catch the exceptions, right? And you see this program is I am writing without an exception. And what will happen? The program is terminate abnormally and come out without any exception handler. I am not handling any exception handler. What will be the resultant? The program terminated abnormally and come out. And with the help of the tray and the catch block, I am writing this code. What will happen then? Okay, you are going to divide the number. So 10 by 0 will be producing a division by 0 error. The program is okay for in the compilation time, but it will be simply produce a runtime error. Logically, syntactically, okay, the program is correct. The I is the value that is divided by the j, and the answer will be stored in the k. But runtime will produce the error that is called as a divided by the 0. Right? That is a division by 0 error will be resultant. Right? And the second one, we have to use the multiple catch statements. Okay, there will be possibility to declare multiple catch statements of the tray block. Okay, just like switch statements, we already stored no switch block. What will be used there? Match the case, match that the identifier to the one of the case label, and control is transferred to the case label. There, the set of statement is there. No, that will be executed, and remaining all is skipped. That also will be there. The tray followed by many catch blocks. You know that, see that the tray catch, and the last one will be the finale, right? So catch tray block is followed by multiple catch statements, right? So the tray block is followed by multiple catch statement. You see that tray catch there, right? So you see the second program. This is the example. Second example. I am going to be a equal to array arguments length. So I am going to pass a group of values in the parameter, that is in the command line. Okay, so that is argument length, system.out print line, and int b equal to 42 by 0. Okay, division by 0, and c into c equal to I. C equal to 42 equal to 99. You see the program clearly. All the statements are syntactically and logically error, but it will produce a runtime error. The second statement is that you know that the third statement into b equal to 42 by 0. That will be syntactically semantically correct. 42 is divisible by 0, and it also will be stored in b. But the compiler taken the things, but in the Java interpreter find out there, right, the JVM, it will produce a runtime error. Okay, that is we can specify the arithmetic exception. So directly that exception is transferred to the arithmetic exception where it will be going there. The second and third one, okay, in the what the thing is, the fifth line C of 42 equal to 99. So I am not using 42 to the location. Okay, so I am not using. I am going to pass 5 elements. So over that is each and every elements will be stored 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 the location, right? So I am not accessing that 42 the location. So without accessing, what will be happen then? That will be array index out of bounds of exception. This 99 will be stored in the 42 the location. It is not possible there. I am not using the 42 the locations. Program if the exception is arise, control is transferred to the catch block, that will be match the catch exception. Okay, array index of bounds exception, where what will be there? Array index of bounds exception, that will be done, and catch it there. Okay, so throw is the nothing but it is one thing. Okay, it is used to throw the exception. The program you see that that is division by the 0. After the division by 0, the catch block will catch the exception, and throw block is used for to throw the exception. Okay, the catch block will catch that exception, and the throw block will be throw it. Okay, use of finale. Okay, there is in some situation. If you not specified the correct exception in the exception handle, what will be happen? Again, the program terminates abnormally and come out there, right? Suppose if you are using an null pointer exception that is not specified in the tray catch block, right? You will not mention the type of the exception in the tray catch block. The final block is used for to catch the exception whether the exception is caught by catch statement or not. Final block is guaranteed to be executed whether the catch block is successful or not. The final block must be added after the catch block or after the tray block. So this may be used for the garbage corrections, right? You see here. This is the tray block, and the catch, the final block at the last. This block is used for to catch the exceptions. Okay, and I am not interested to handle the exception in the program itself. I want to throw the exception to the outside. In this case, I want to be used throws keyword. You see that I am using this throws without exception, array exception. I am considering the main name. I will handle the exception in the inside. This is the fifth one, throw. So throw and throws, the difference between the throws and throws means throw, alright, the trace statement monitor the cache statement. If an exception will be arise, the throw will be throw the exception. But in the case of, I am not handle to the exception inside the program. I know that this type of exception may arise in the program. So I want to specify this all the things out of my program itself. So I want to throw the exception the outside the method. Okay, see this public static void main string arguments throw automatic exception, array index of modes of exception. I will throw all the exception in the outside, right? So this is the 5 important keywords are used in the exception. Thank you.